Welcome to This Week in Morgan County. I'm your host, Russell Mokhiber. Our guest this week is Jeanne Ward. She's with the Hancock Arts Council. Jeanne, welcome to the show.
Well, thank you.
Give us a little bit about yourself. Where were you born and raised? What brought you to the area?
Well, I was born and raised in Baltimore County. I'm an only child. I went to Towson State Teachers College, is what it was called then, and then I got my master's from Loyola, and I went to Peabody Conservatory of Music and played classical piano, and but classical piano, it didn't do anything for me. I don't know, I couldn't hum the songs. I liked country music. My parents used to take me to carnivals, volunteer firemen carnivals, where they always had a country star singing. And I enjoyed them so much that that's been my love. I love all music, but country is really my thing.
What was your life's work?
I was an elementary teacher for 38 years. I taught in Baltimore County for 8, and I taught in Washington County, Maryland for 30. So.
How long have you been up here?
I've been up here for 42 years. Married my husband that I met when my parents bought a cabin in the mountains. And he was the farmer. And up here for 42 years, and I'm finally part of this community. I mean, for all these years, I was an outsider. I was one of them Baltimore people, you know. But now I belong, so I'm happy.
How did you become involved with the Arts Council?
I retired 10 years ago, and I was asked by a friend if I would like to join the Arts Council because I would put on shows at the school with my kids and the other teachers, and I said, yeah, I'd love to do that. So I've been a part of it and been a secretary for them for the last 10 years.
The Arts Council put on a Hee Haw show on July 26th. How did that come about?
I've been writing shows for them. That's my passion, is to write. And I thought, what does this community really like? And it seems like a lot of them were into the country music. I did open mic for 6 years in Hancock, and a lot of people would come in and play their country music. And I noticed a lot of them reminded me of the people that were on the Hee Haw show. So I just asked them if they would like to do a country music show, and they were all in. So I wrote it, and I researched it. I did a lot of looking up things and jokes, and I added some of my own, and I have most of the characters that were in Hee Haw.
Right, so this list that you have about people who appeared, you played Minnie Pearl.
Yes.
And yeah, Buck Owens, Roy Clark, Roy Acuff, a lot of the country music stars that were on that show.
Yes.
And it was a TV show that, what's the history of Hee Haw?
Well, it started in 1969. It was written by 2 Canadians, and then it lasted until 91. And it's still on television today. A lot of repeats, and you can buy the DVDs.
What was its reputation, though? It had a reputation of being sort of hillbilly hick.
Right. When it started, a lot of the people in country music were opposed to it because it made the country people look like hicks, you know, with the bibbed overalls and the straw hats and sitting on hay bales. And a lot of them were opposed, and even Roger Miller said he didn't want to be a part of it. He didn't want to be on it. But then when it started and it got such popularity, he said, yeah, I'll be on that show. So Roger Miller was in a lot of the episodes. And hillbilly is what I called it when I was growing up, hillbilly music. And we didn't think anything bad. It was just country, good old country music.
Now, you play Minnie Pearl, and you have the hat that you wear.
Yes.
Why don't you put that on and give us your Minnie Pearl impression here to show, like, okay. She was a star of Hee Haw.
And she went, howdy, I'm just so proud to be here.
Okay, and now you know why that show had that reputation.
But Miss Minnie Pearl, she was a very educated lady. And she was also a teacher, and she just liked comedy. And when she started doing a little comedian act for people, they said, you ought to get into show business. So that's when she became Minnie Pearl. Her real name was Sarah Ophelia Colley Cannon.
The remarkable thing about this is that you held it at the community center in Hancock.
Yes.
Which holds 450 people.
That's tops.
And tell us what happened that night.
Well, we put it on in July, and it was advertised very well. I made posters. I hung posters everywhere. It was in the Hancock and the Morgan Messenger and the Herald Mail.
But it was advertised like you usually advertise.
Yeah, we advertise all of them.
Yeah.
And I thought, this is, it'll be packed, I told the people. There were 18 cast members. And I said, so when the curtain opens, don't get upset. So an hour before the show started, we opened the doors, and I looked out the windows, and I saw people lined up clear around the building. And they just kept coming. And the cars were parked everywhere. And about 45 minutes before the show started, I peeked out the curtain, and it was packed. They were bringing chairs in. People were sitting in the aisles. I looked over the stage, and people were right there. And they were standing all along the sides and in the back. And we had to turn away approximately 250 people.
Right. So you jammed in 450 people.
Yeah.
You turned away. So there were about 700 people who showed up.
Yeah.
And it was a success. I take it was a success.
Oh my, yes.
Did you raise money that night? I mean, what is it? A ticketed event?
No, it's donation. By donation only for the Hancock Arts Council. And we made more money on that show than we've made on any other show. And yeah, it was a blast. I've gotten comments that people are still talking about it wherever I go. They say, weren't you the one Hee Haw? And they want to come back and see it. But if they come back, there's still going to be people that aren't going to get in. So we're just hoping that we can hold a lot.
And your next one is this coming Sunday,
This
October
coming
27 at 2 p.m.
Yes.
at the Arts Council.
Yes.
Are you selling tickets ahead of time?
No. It's going to be the same thing. Doors open at 1. And I've gotten the word out. A lot of people say, oh, we're going to come back and see it. And I thought, oh, my goodness. But
all right, so the reality is if you want to get in this coming Sunday, you're going to have to show up early and stand in line.
Very early.
What's the weather looking like?
Yes. I don't know. But we're bringing in hay bales. It's supposed to be in the fictional Cornfield County. So the stage will be set up with hay bales and corn stalks. And so hopefully the weather will be good for that. It'll look, when the curtain opens, I think people went, oh! So.
Has the Arts Council ever seen a turnout like this in your time there?
No.
And how do you explain it?
I think it's just the interest. I've written 10 different shows that the Arts Council has put on. And I did a Grand Ole Opry Revisited. And when I put on that show, I was surprised at the attendance at that show. I thought, gee, the people around here really like the old-time country music. So then I told them I would do another one the following year. So then I did Honky Tonk Hangout, which was supposed to be in the Tootsie's Orchid Lounge in Nashville. And they had a bar set up on stage and everything, and the people were coming from the Grand Ole Opry into the back door of the Tootsie's Lounge. And that year I was Dottie West. The first year I was Connie Smith. So I enjoyed being a part of it too. And everybody that came in would sing a song. And
are these people who remember the Hee Haw show? What's the average age, would you say, looking at that crowd?
There are a lot of senior citizens, but they bring their grandkids, and their parents come in. So I would say it's all ages. And they just are like, I think it's coming back. I think the country music, the old-time country music's coming back. It told a story, and people can really have a feeling for that.
We're, just in terms of the demographics again, of the people who showed up, are those primarily people from Hancock, or where were they coming from?
No, well, the cast is from the tri-state area, so a lot of the relatives came from all over. I mean, from West Virginia, Virginia, a lot of people from Virginia were there. Pennsylvania, a lot of Pennsylvanians, Maryland. So it was all around.
And also, another explanation possible is PBS ran the Ken Burns 8-part series on country music recently.
Yes.
And that was very popular. A lot of people watched that. Mm-hmm. Do you sense that that was driving some of it, or no?
Not really.
Okay.
I think that they would have come whether that was on or not. And that helped with the second show. The first show, though, that hadn't aired yet. So they just like country music.
So that Ken Burns thing did not, that ran after the July show?
Yes.
Okay. Give us just some of the highlights of the first show. Who did you like? I mean, I know you had a whole cast and you can't really say, but tell us some of the highlights.
Well, we do a lot of comedy. We have the Gossip Girls where they're washing clothes and singing songs. That was pretty funny. And we have the Hee Haw Honeys. We have a little sexiness in there with the Hee Haw Honeys. And a lot of good music. The musicians I've found through the years of working with different open mics and things, there's a lot of musicians in this area. And we have a Boxcar Willie who does a real good job, a Eddie Arnold, a Loretta Lynn, a girl that sings Tammy Wynette, and all of them are excellent singers. So, and then we have the Paul Williams, who is the West Virginian singing cowboy. He's in it. And we have banjo players, guitar players, fiddles, bass. It's all acoustic, no electric. So
you made some good money at the first one. No tickets. Mm-hmm. And the average donation's probably a couple bucks, $3 or $4 or $5, something like that.
I don't know what the average is, but we did well.
Okay. And next show, October 27, 2 p.m. And I guess doors open at 1, but I guess people, if they want to get into this, they should show up early.
Yes, definitely.
Okay. And for more information, do you have a website?
Yeah, we have our own Facebook page with the Hancock Arts Council.
All right. Well, congratulations on that.
Thank you. I'm excited.
October 27, 2 p.m. And thank you for watching This Week in Morgan County.